Hey everyone, John Hendrix here for Saints News Network. Going to give you another recap for Saints training camp. But first, as always, we start with focusing in on our today's sponsor, which would be Justin Burgess of BenPro. Thank you for sponsoring today's show. Again, if you have a business in the greater New Orleans region and you need any help whatsoever with employee benefits or health insurance, Justin Burgess at BenPro is your guy. Give him a call, 504-888-8038. We appreciate it. Tell him John Hendrix sent you. All right, day 17, Saints training camp. We got a little bit different things on the video today just because some Wi-Fi issues, all that fun stuff. And so, look, forgive the guerrilla style, whatever you want. They're tearing down Chargers training camp as we speak. So everybody's getting out of Dodge, and there's several of us still around doing some work. So today, focused in on the defense. That was the main thing. So we thought there's two fields out here, and we thought that, the same thing as before, what we were going to have is everybody flips the field. But the field I was at yesterday ended up having the Saints defense come with Justin Herbert and the Chargers offense. So a little bit interesting wrinkle today. But look, I think first things, of course, we want to talk about attendance. So among those to return, Lynn Bowden Jr. today. Shaq Davis was an absence today. We don't know exactly what's going on there. And then, of course, the big news there, we saw Taysom Hill out here. So he did make the trip, and he was in, just the jersey, no pads or anything like that. So that's a big noticeable one. Cesar Ruiz once again working off to the side. Rashid Shaheed also working off to the side. Demario Davis is participating in walkthroughs, individual drills. He's still working off to the side and such. And so again, we talked about the health. Kind of looks like it might be coming back a little bit for this team. But ultimately, the big thing for today, takeaway, is Marshawn Lattimore tweaked his knee a little bit, planted and felt something awkward. Dennis Allen held him out of practice as a precautionary measure. Look, at one point it was on his left knee that he had a big old wrap with ice, and he was able to stay on the sidelines. I think that's the encouraging thing, is that he was able to stay on the sidelines. So if he left the field, carted off or anything, we'd be much more worried about it. But with that, I think he's going to be okay. Nothing serious, at least. So you may shut him down for a couple of days, let him rest and heal. Obviously, they need Marshawn Lattimore, something fierce. This defense, though, I think did an exceptional job on the day. That's where we focused all our attention. Look, I had Justin Herbert today on the day, 12 of 25 in team. And so they went through 5 different team sessions today. Make of that what you will. I think the Saints defense did an exceptional job. They only gave up 2 touchdowns. One of those was with Easton Stick, one with Justin Herbert. I think that they had some good coverage on the day. It was a lot of dink and dunk. I think that's the main thing that you take away, is that it's all the short stuff, the bend, don't break type model, if you will. So again, I think that's really encouraging. I think the pass rush was getting after it today. A guy like Tanoh Kpassagnon, look, he's somebody that we tend to not talk about. I've been talking about him because I think he was in for such a huge improvement with this defensive line and such. But look, he's somebody that's been getting after it. I thought Cam Jordan had a really good day. I think Jaylen Smith probably had his best practice. This guy's showing off some major range. I think he's somebody that could threaten. He's learning the system quickly. He's being thrust into a lot of situations. I feel pretty good about where he's at right now. I think more is to come there, and we got the wind to deal with, so I'm sorry about that if the audio comes through. But at any rate, look, I think Jaylen Smith is somebody that's on the ascension right now. I think that you look at players like Carl Granderson, improved tremendously in the run support. I think that's been huge for him, right? And so I think he's probably the guy that starts opposite of Cam. Of course, we've got a lot of football to go, but I've really liked what I've seen from him, not only as a pass rusher, but in the run support particularly. Brian Brisset making some plays on the inside as well. Colin Saunders showing off his athleticism. Look, you had some interceptions. Ugo Amadi had one in 7-on-7, picking him off. And so I think that was a big play for him. Picked off Easton Stick. And so look, Amadi's a guy that we talk about sometimes, and he's somebody that keeps making some plays. I think he's got a spot on this team if he can keep it up. He's playing slot. He fields some punts just as a situational type of thing. And so, look, I'm encouraged with what he's been able to do. We're going to see more from him, obviously. But, look, he made some plays today. Marcus May, look, he's another one. I know his future's kind of a little bit cloudy right now because he could end up starting the year with a suspension, just depending from that February DUI arrest that when he was with the Jets. It was 2021, and so we'll see how that kind of plays out. But look, he's looking good. He's healthy. He's strong in run support. He had an interception in the end zone, so they worked on a whole bunch of different situations. They had end of game situations, so it was 48 seconds on the clock. They were starting at the Saints 40. They had to get in the end zone. You know, Herbert went 2 of 7 on that drive. Easton Stick, I think, was 2 of 6 on that drive. Of course, you can check Saints News Network for all of the notes, the detailed notes, every play, every route, every person in coverage, all the tackles, all the goodness. It's on Saints.media. You know this by now if you've been following me, so appreciate all the support as always. But, you know, May having that interception, being good in run support, I think this is going to be a better year for this secondary. And that's saying a lot because, you know, with the Marshawn injury, I understand. Alontae Taylor and Paulson Adebo on that side, I think they did a phenomenal job today in the coverage. Had a couple penalties here and there, legal contact, PI, different things that's going to happen. I think that's something to get used to. But look, I think overall the Saints defense showed from yesterday, if people said that Chargers offense won yesterday, Saints defense won the day today. And I think that shows a better sign of a team that looks at film, makes the corrections, adjustments, if you will. That's probably a bigger leap for me. And the thing is, you got to remember, these two teams meeting, they have the script of what's going to happen, but they're not studying film on each other right now or anything like that. This is kind of like, we'll figure out how things go and then make the adjustments. It's something Tyrann Mathieu hit on yesterday. I think we saw it today. And then on the offensive side, you know, check out Ross Jackson's notes. That wasn't what I looked at today, but from what I heard, looked like it went pretty well. You know, the Chargers fans, that was the side that they were on. Didn't hear a lot of cheers today. Yesterday was the exact opposite. Now, of course, they had the offense over there, but look, I think there's a lot that went into it. But look, Saints, we'll have to see what happens with Hurricane Hillary. I never thought I'd be talking about a hurricane threat in California, Southern California of all things. We don't know anything yet as of, you know, Friday afternoon. The Saints and Chargers are supposed to have a call with the league to find out what's happening. And here's the problem. So the Rams host the Raiders inside SoFi on Saturday night. So if they move the game up Sunday, it's a matter of can they get the field ready and everything going operational standpoint to have the Saints move up that game, and then maybe we get out of here Sunday before all the weather hits. We'll see. No official updates yet. Probably coming. We'll see what happens, but that's the big thing. I think I've got enough out of these 2 joint practices for me personally. So if the game happens, great. I don't think we'll see a ton of starters. As Alan said, if they do have starters, it's probably going to be not as many, but I would expect guys like Trevor Penning to probably play, Carl Granderson, just not your marquee veterans, if that makes sense. I don't think you'll see guys like Derek Carr, you know, Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, guys that you're really counting on this year, stuff like that. And not that they aren't counting on guys like Trevor or anything like that, but I think that you'll see some of these other ones, Ramczyk, another example, Eric McCoy, probably won't get as much work. I think there's more to figure out on the depth chart. Linebacker, special teams, you know, offensive line, that was pretty putrid last week against the Chiefs, second and third teams. I'd like to see that get cleaned up a little bit more, but, you know, look, we'll see how it plays out. We'll see if we have a game. No idea yet as of Friday afternoon, but things can change really quickly, and the game is played on Sunday. So, again, we want to thank Justin Burgess of BenPro for sponsoring today's show. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at John J. Hendrix. And, oh, by the way, just a reminder, if you need tickets to any sporting event, be sure to use the code Hendrix on SeatGeek to get $20 off of your first purchase. It's a killer deal. Preseason action. They got the Texans at home. The Saints do next Sunday. Good chance to go. I'm just saying. So appreciate all the support as always. We'll keep you tuned to what's going to happen with this game. I'll be out there assuming everything's good. If not, we'll figure it all out on the way. So John Hendrix, your Saints News Network, signing off. Appreciate you guys as always.